The likes of Kevin De Bruyne and Virgil van Dijk are amongst the players to have exceeded all expectations in recent years. Both players joined their current clubs for big money fees, leaving fans and pundits doubting whether they were worth the astronomical price tags that had been slapped on them. However, De Bruyne and Van Dijk have gone on to become two of the Premier League's best players since joining Manchester City and Liverpool, respectively. With that in mind, here are 6 mega transfer fees that puzzled fans before the players went on to prove all their doubters wrong. Kevin De Bruyne to Manchester City, £54 million. De Bruyne's move to City in 2015 infamously caused Paul Merson to exclaim that the signing was an absolute joke. The Belgian midfielder joined for £54 million just 18 months after Chelsea had sold him for a third of that amount, following an underwhelming spell at Stamford Bridge. His form in the Bundesliga for Wolfsburg had done little to convince those in England, despite City splashing out on De Bruyne. He won City's Player of the Season award in his first campaign and has won the award 3 more times since. A 2-time PFA Players Player of the Year, De Bruyne has also won 4 league titles with the club and has 229 goal contributions in 338 appearances. Virgil van Dijk to Liverpool, £75 million. Van Dijk finally completed a move to Liverpool from Southampton in January 2018 after a long-running transfer saga. Although his ability was not doubted, there were questions over whether his talents justified a then world record £75 million fee for a defender. A goal on his debut was followed by Liverpool's 6th Champions League triumph 18 months later as Van Dijk became a key man for the Reds. He was named the best player in Europe by UEFA in 2019 as well as multiple other individual honours before winning the Premier League title in 2020. 5 years on from his arrival, Van Dijk remains an integral part of the Liverpool squad. João Cancelo to Manchester City, £60 million. Prior to completing a £60 million move to the Etihad Stadium in 2019, João Cancelo had failed to excite fans at Benfica, Inter Milan and Juventus after progressing through Benfica's famed academy. As a result, there was little excitement when Pep Guardiola splashed out on yet another fullback, with many thinking Cancelo would once again fail to deliver in sky blue. Under Guardiola, though, Cancelo developed into a dynamic asset in defense and attack with his ability to assist teammates at will and even chip in with goals himself. Cancelo provided a combined 13 goals and assists from defense in the 2021-22 season alone as City won a second consecutive league title. He has also developed into a versatile option, playing on both flanks as a fullback and winger as well as midfield before leaving City for Bayern Munich in January. Diogo Jota to Liverpool, £40 million. Cancelo's compatriot Diogo Jota became a fan favourite at Wolves before joining Liverpool in 2020 for an initial £40 million with a further £5 million in add-ons. 16 goals and 6 assists for Wolves the season before had earned Jota the move but did not garner any expectations that he could force himself into the Reds' prolific attack. However, despite suffering a string of injuries since arriving at Anfield, Jota has tallied a respectable 34 goals and 14 assists in 95 appearances for Liverpool and is a regular fixture for the club when not ruled out through injury. Ben White to Arsenal, £50 million. Arsenal's decision to part with £50 million to sign Ben White from Brighton in the summer of 2021 appeared misjudged as he struggled in a 2-0 loss to Brentford in his Gunners debut. The England defender refused to be disheartened by his critics after that match, though, and was a key factor in Arsenal's resurgence last season before they ultimately missed out on the top four. This term, White has appeared exclusively at right-back following the return of William Saliba from a loan spell and had started every league match prior to last week's loss to Manchester City. White's form this season also earned him a call-up to Three Lions World Cup squad before Christmas. Bruno Fernandes to Manchester United, £55 million. Despite having made over 100 Serie A appearances, fans were not convinced Bruno Fernandes had the pedigree to play for Manchester United when they signed him from Sporting Lisbon for £55 million in January 2020. Fernandes had been in fine form after returning to his native Portugal but had failed to pull up any trees during his previous time playing in one of Europe's top 5 leagues. He immediately silenced the critics, though, proving to be a bright spark for United for the remainder of the 2019-20 season, with 15 goals contributions in 14 Premier League appearances. The 28-year-old was named the league's Player of the Month 4 times in 2020 alone and has twice won United's Player of the Year award in just over 3 years at Old Trafford. Fernandes has also captained the Red Devils on numerous occasions and has 57 goals and 48 assists in 162 appearances for the club.